Welcome to the Southern Oracles Tarot. I'm the Childlike Empress.
And I'm Neorin.
And this reading is for Cancer for January 2019. This is a general reading, which means it may or it may not apply to your situation right now. So just take the parts that apply. The cards that have already been laid out, we do that to save time. And since we don't like long introductions, let's get started.
Well, I also wanted to say that this is a channel with we're two partners, sisters.
Yep.
And we read the cards together, but we also read them separately
Yeah.
in different scenarios. And one scenario may apply, one may not, but they both might.
Yeah.
We'll try to timestamp the bottom, so
Yeah.
you'll know. So if one doesn't resonate, you can go to another.
Yeah, and then within the first minute, if you guys don't see yourself in it, you have the timestamp to go look at another situation.
Okay.
So we are going to start by showing you guys what cards are on the table. We're on this beautiful flow. Backdrop.
Especially for kids.
Right,
We brought it out for kids.
It did. She was like, go get the floral one. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, kids will get a special one. Okay, so for the heart of the matter, we have the 10 of Cups. Cancer coming in strong. We've got the 6 of Wands as the challenge. It could be what helps you, though. So it can be what helps or hinders you. We have the Ace of Swords as the foundation. Basically, what's being done about what's going on. We have the 2 of Swords as the past. We've got the Knight of Pentacles as the present. And then, I guess, present influences. And then we have the Ace of Cups as the future circumstances. For how you see yourself as the Queen of Pentacles. In an environment of the 3 of Wands. Sometimes I like to say this is also maybe a universal energy. A lot of times when there's planetary changes, something like that will come up in this part of the spread. I noticed. Okay? This part is your advice. Or it can also be, some people read it as your fears, hopes and fears sometimes.
Overall advice, yeah.
Yeah, so this can be overall advice. So some people will read it as your hope and your fear. Sometimes we'll do both because, again, the cards have layers. So it depends on the situation. And then this one is the outcome. So you guys have the Empress as the outcome. You want me to lift it up? Ta-da! She's coming out of the heavens with Venus at her back. So the overall that we have for the spread is the Lovers, the Death card, and the overall for our clarifiers we have Domestica. Okay?
She's a helper.
Yeah, so a helper at home has a lot of things to do with things that are tied to home. With that 10 of Cups in the middle, it's definitely consistent. So the first situation.
I'm gonna start with the scenario 1 that I see, or
Okay.
would you want me to
No,
do it second?
definitely do scenario 1.
Okay, scenario 1, and obviously this won't apply to everyone, but to those that resonate, I think you'll understand what I mean.
Right.
So with the happy home card, with the 10 of Cups, it's usually a happy home with children and laughter and light and music and all that. Well, I see that you raised the family successfully with that 6 of Wands. But I think you'll come into the realization now that that time of your life is over. And maybe your son or your daughter or your child, whoever.
Yeah, this Knight of Pentacles here.
Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is maybe moving on. Possibly going to school or to the military, or just moving out and into their own home.
Yep.
And you
Knight of
have a bit
Pentacles
of
and
a,
Cups,
yeah, also with that 3 of Wands. Well,
yeah, that's true.
and then you're having a bit of empty nest syndrome is what I want to call this.
Oh wait, I just saw something.
What?
Does she look like she's crying?
Oh yeah. She does look like she's crying. It's
I just came out and I was like, oh. Oh wow.
That's not funny, but yeah, I see that.
I
Yeah.
didn't mean to laugh at you.
Well, actually, now that you see that, if you look at the different phases of the moon, could be the different phases of You could be looking back on your child's childhood,
Yeah.
all the different phases of your life. You're like, oh, I remember when he was,
Right.
looking the pictures, and oh, I remember when, because
That's
so like,
new beginning.
remember when he was a baby, or I brought him home from the hospital, or whatever, and it's bringing you. It's a sad. I mean, stop it. I think that you're happy with this Ace of Cups. You're definitely happy that this person is moving on and is starting a new phase of their life. Yeah, different phase of their life is what I was saying. And starting a different phase of their life. But that leaves you almost questioning what to do next with your life.
Yeah, with the Eight of Cups, and look, the moon is there too.
Yeah.
Aww.
And you're looking with this 3, it's like you're looking out to see what direction you're going to go into next.
Did you notice in the Eight of Cups that there's a gopher?
I did not.
Yeah, I just saw that, which means to me, because it just came out to me, the gophers are blind. That's probably why this person is going by the light of the moon. You really don't know what you're gonna do.
Right.
You don't know which way you're gonna go. Like you're just going by your intuition at this point. You're just feeling it out. It's definitely something that you're not aware. Like you have a cup here though. That same Ace of Cups is the only cup standing.
Right.
So, you know.
So that leaves you're not leaving your kid behind.
Yeah.
You're not leaving him behind. You're not going to be left behind. They are starting a new phase in their life, and you're starting a new phase in your life as well.
Yeah, your tears are gonna fill that cup.
Yeah.
You're gracious for your new emotional beginning. What you think might make you sad is gonna be the start of your new life. Right?
Yeah. So you might be doing some traveling with that 3 of Wands
And the Ace of Cups.
and the 8 of Cups.
Yeah. Moving home. Yeah.
Yeah, moving your home.
Selling your home.
Yeah, could be selling your home.
Selling your long time home. We've got the Precious Present. This is usually like some type of monetary gain, but with strings attached. So maybe in this case, because it's tied to the 8 of Cups, it could be strings attached that you're losing your long time home.
Right, you could say to yourself, I don't need this big house anymore.
Right. You're just letting go of everything. So you're just like, I'm leaving all of the things. I'm leaving my attachments, really, right? Because you've got the attachments, the fidelity, which is loyalty, or being loyal to something, and in Casa, the house stands out very strongly. So you could be just leaving it all behind, strings attached and all. You're like, I'm leaving it. I'm just leaving all of that. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And with the domestico, I think it has to do with the house and your housely duties, and you're like, yeah, why am I cleaning up this big house? Why am I, doing this kind of stuff when I could be in a condo or something similar to that?
Yeah, very, very true.
And I see with this Queen of Pentacles and this Empress, it's like you see yourself still as the mother holding on to this pentacle, this Knight of Pentacles here. But with the Empress is saying your job is done, I think.
Yeah.
It's never going to be completely done. You're always going to be a mom, but as far as he's out now, she's out, your job is done. You come full circle.
And it's time to work on you.
Yeah, it's time to
the
work
Queen
on
of Pentacles is a lower diminutive, well, not lower, but she's a diminutive of the Empress.
Right.
So this is more of a growth thing. Like you were the mother, that's the role that you were in. But now it's time to become your own best self. You know what I mean? Maybe
living your best life.
Living your best life. Girl, that should be it.
Yeah, living your best life. Yeah.
Very nice, yeah. So that's what I think that the cards are saying. That's what you're headed. Even though you see the ship is kind of faded out, you don't know what's headed towards you. I think that's what's headed towards you. You living your best life and kind of nurturing yourself, self-care, really just
doing all the things you couldn't do.
Right. Being your ultra feminine self.
Right.
So.
And you could have new love coming in. I don't see that as being prominent, but I do see the Lovers card there.
Yeah, so maybe after you get yourself together,
you could be meeting somebody on a cruise.
I
see a cruise somewhere.
Somebody getting all glammy.
Yeah, you could be glammed up.
Just getting all glammed up. Maybe only then the energy of
love can come in. Right.
Yeah, because she looks a little bit covered up, a little bit frumpy, but this one's like, I'm opening that cloak, same green cloak,
right?
And underneath is
she's coming out,
a bodycon dress. So that could be what we see here for you, but that's a definite outcome. So that's a good one for scenario 1.
Right, and that's
the empty nester. Yeah. Okay. So
936.
936. Okay. So for scenario 2, I saw something a little different. Of course, I'm a mother, so I always like to let people know how I'm biased. But in this one, I saw a person who was pregnant. Kind of came to that conclusion, obviously, because the Empress was the outcome.
Well, there's the Ace of Cups because it signifies pregnancy.
Yeah, so there was a couple things. Okay, you got the Mother card as how you saw yourself. You got the Empress card as the outcome. You have the Ten of Cups as the heart of the matter. So family and motherhood really tied in strongly with the reading. So that really is how I came to my conclusion. So what I see with you and this, well, yourself in this, I consider this to be Cancer. Somebody is pregnant at this present moment because of the present influences. I think maybe in the past they weren't really
ready.
They weren't ready.
Or actually not really sure if that's something they even wanted.
Right. This wasn't something that you were sure about. I definitely see that with the Two of Swords being in the past. But now I think it's something that you're happy about. I think slowly but surely with the Knight of Pentacles here as your headspace, you've started to come around to the idea that this is something that makes you happy. I think the challenge here, because I do see a few Pentacle cards with the Empress, and sometimes she has to do with manifesting, but in work and success, and especially with the Six of Wands here being your obstacle, I think that why this is an obstacle is because maybe you didn't see yourself in that role. Maybe you feel like this is something that's going to interfere with your success, or you were somebody who was successful in business. You are successful. Right. I don't want to take that away from you. See, that's part of the issue. That's one of the issues, but you are somebody who is successful. Maybe you are financially stable. Maybe you are financially abundant with this Six of Wands and Ten of Cups. But you feel like this new role with you seeing yourself as the Queen of Pentacles is going to hinder that success. Or slow it down because you got the Knight of Pentacles as your headspace. It's maybe going to slow you down. I also came to that conclusion when you got the Precious Present, La Fidelta, and the Casa. In this case, I see it as, again, a gift, but with strings attached. Then Fidelta is, again, loyalty or really being stuck with something. And then the Casa. So almost like this is going to keep you, it's going to be a gift. It's definitely something you're happy for, but it's going to keep you tied to your home.
Right.
You know, I think that's kind of what I feel like. It's going to keep you tied to your home. And will you have to leave everything that you've accrued behind? You know what I mean? Even though you are very delighted with the idea of having this child, I think you want to know what the risks are. There's an undercurrent of uncertainty about what this is going to bring into your life, especially
not that you're uncertain about having the child.
No.
I see with the Ace of Swords, you're very certain
that you want it, yeah.
And you're with the Ten of Cups, you're very happy.
Right. It's just you're uncertain about what the future is going to bring for you. As far as even with this person being happy, there's still moons here, so there's a happiness with uncertainty, not about the status of your desire to have the child, but what that's going to bring into your life. So you just don't know what the phases are going to bring.
How is that going to change your work life and you're hanging out with friends, that kind of thing.
Now, you do see yourself as a mother, so you probably have sat and thought about, especially with the Ace of Swords here being what you're doing, what it means to be a mother. You maybe have been reading up on it, and you see yourself doing well in that role. But again, here comes the Three of Wands. While anticipating the new role, if you see that ship, like we pointed out in Situation 1, it's murky. The water's murky, and the ship is shadowy. You cannot see that ship. So even though you are anticipating it... Ship.
Right, with a P.
Yeah, no censorship. Ship. Yeah, you can't see that. You can see the ship coming. You just really don't know what it's going to look like when it does arrive. So that's what I think. Maybe you're anticipating a boy or a girl. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. You've given it a lot of thought, but you're still very uncertain of how that's going to affect you and what you're going to have to leave behind. Now, here's the good news. I think that in this particular spread, the Empress is saying, similar to the last spread, but even better, I think it's saying that you... I
think you'll be able to handle both.
Yeah.
Work and home life.
Yeah. This Empress is basically saying that you're going to flourish. You're going to grow and flourish in this role because it goes from the Queen of Pentacles to the Empress. And again, I keep seeing growth. So you go from being like, maybe you thought you're just going to be a good mother, to really you're going to be a good manifestor. You're going to be able to do a little bit of everything because she can handle it. She can handle it on her own. You're going to come into your own, I think, once this happens. Once you're able to be comfortable with it, you're really going to flourish in this role. That's what I think, especially with the Ten of Cups as the heart of the matter, the Empress. And then the Domestico is the overall that clarified these. So I think that you're going to sit the change in this new role, you know, of being a mother, and, you know, it's going to be good for you. You're probably going to be able to balance your work, your home, your family.
Well, on a side note, you're probably glowing at the moment. I see that you're glowing.
Looking good.
what strikes me is that Ace of Cups and how that sun or the moon, whatever it is hitting the back of that card and just the glow. So you definitely have a bit of a pregnancy glow. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Yeah, you have that glow, and I think even with the Venus energy above you, you're gonna feel like the ultimate feminine. I really do. I think it's gonna again give you a lot of
even
growth
with
and
the
abundance.
even with that Lover's card, do you see the glow?
Yeah.
On the face. Yeah. There's a glow with
this
that.
is something that may even just bring out the woman in you. It just feels like it's just
a feminine. If you were more masculine driven,
Yeah.
like work and school and that sort of stuff, this will bring out that feminine side of you.
Yeah, even whatever your fear was that maybe you would be tied down to home and family, I think that it's saying that you are going to absolutely flourish.
Yeah, because even with the Queen of Pentacles going to the Empress, it's like with time it only gets better.
Yeah, it does. I think that this is a role almost that you're made for.
Yeah.
So this is something that's going to make you intensely happy. And you know that, I think. You're just afraid of what the unknowns. The things you know what make you happy, but you're just afraid
you might
of the
be afraid
unknown.
you're going to be bored at home. What are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, because this is movement, the Six of Wands, and when it being a challenge, you just maybe feel like it's halting your forward movement. That might be one of your fears, you know.
Yeah, you work so hard.
Right, that you have to leave everything behind. Again, that gopher, that blind gopher, you know, that blindness as to what's ahead of you. But this one's saying to me, and this one that you're in this scenario, number 2, that you absolutely are going to flourish in this feminine energy, in this role. It's going to be an absolute beacon, a beam, what they call a boon for you. Yeah, so that's what I see for scenario number 2.
So 1632.
Gotcha. You guys. Okay, 1632. And that one was 936 for the last one. Gotcha. Okay, you ready for the third one?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, scenario
number 3, which is a love situation, because you know we couldn't have a situation without a love situation.
Without love, not Cancer and love.
Girl, all in it. Y'all came in with the 10 of Cups, so we would be fools if we didn't see it, right? So I see this one. It's not bad either. I think with this one, someone wasn't ready to get married. I know. Where'd you get all of that from? Yeah, so when we looked at it, I especially saw this one strongly. I saw someone... Either this was the proposal. The Knight of Pentacles jumped off of the board to me as someone who wasn't ready. I just keep saying someone wasn't ready to get married with that 2 of Swords, that 10 of Cups. They just weren't ready to settle down. Maybe slowly they were coming around to the idea of it with the Ace of Swords.
They might have thought they were a little too immature.
Right. They just weren't ready.
Or financially immature, right?
Yeah, they just weren't ready with that 6 of Wands being the blockage.
But love wasn't the issue.
Right. So maybe you see yourself as a Queen of Pentacles, so this could possibly have been your partner. You see them as being immature because they come up as the Knight a little bit younger than you. Regardless of their sign, they just come up as a little bit more immature. So maybe you were ready and they weren't. But somebody wasn't ready in this scenario. I don't want to think too much about it. With the Lovers card here, obviously this was about a love relationship. There is love there, and I think that's important because...
Yeah, the love is strong.
Right. They're not wanting to be with you because of love. I think because finances kind of played a role. Again, it's maturity and financial stability, especially this person coming up as a Knight of Pentacles. Perhaps they felt like, or you felt like, y'all weren't financially ready to take on a home and really build from there, right? And I see you as a Queen of Pentacles, so you may have just been getting started in your career. You know, she only has 1 pentacle in her hand. So maybe you're just starting to get stable. I think what this means to me, I also saw that as things started to get better, because 3 of Wands can be your ships coming in.
Right, financially.
Then maybe you felt more ready because now you see yourself as a Queen of Pentacles as opposed to a Knight of Pentacles, which I would see this energy as people who are starting out, you know, starting to get their finances together.
Or it could be the other party has gotten a new job that they love or a new career started, and now you've seen them go from the Knight to the Queen.
Yeah, because this isn't necessarily gender specific. It really could be that they went from somebody who was, financially not really good with money to somebody who's got more money coming in, has a better grasp because she's holding that money, a better grasp of how she handles her money. As the work starts coming in, they're able to better manage their money, is what I would say. Yeah. So now I see as the Empress, again, I see this as somebody who is ready. I think this spread to me just speaks of, just to say really quickly, because it is a very light spread, or a surface spread. It's just about a maturity. It really is. It's literally like a knight, queen to the empress. This is just about a person who wasn't ready simply because they just didn't feel that they were in that stage of life.
Again, the phases of the moon pop
Yeah.
up to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps coming up, that moon. You know what I mean? I think it's just about growth. And then growth is really the underlying theme here too. About people really just growing up and accepting where they're at, or moving forward from where they were. Naturally, like organically, in seasons. And I think that now the person or you feel like you're ready finally to take on this challenge and, leave behind this immature energy. You're not that person anymore. You're growing into a different person. And I think for this particular scenario, this person is going to take on the role of wife, but willingly. You know what I mean? Willingly take on the role of wife and mother. Even though there are a few doubts, I think that that's something that they're going. With this moon card, I see it as this person walking away, but in a hopeful way. They're just gonna go. They got their little walking stick, and they're like, okay, well, what's next? You know what I mean? I think you feel.
What's next in the journey? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's within the journey. It's not. You're off on your own.
No,
It's within the journey.
No, it's definitely with the lovers here. You're on a journey, but you're on this journey with someone. And I think with lovers, domestico, clearly stating lovers, and in home life, you guys are going to go into this journey
and the death
together.
card is the change.
It's the change, right?
The transformation. Because that goes with the phases of the moon.
Right.
So
This is all about transformation. Even it's the little things in life, but this is what makes us transform, This is what makes us change. We are the universe. We're little universes every day, and change doesn't happen until we decide to make it happen. So that's what I see with this one. Like I said, it's pretty light, but if you are in a phase where you're growing and you're becoming into womanhood and you're with someone that you really care about and you're like, I'm not really certain if we're ready to take that step. I think as your finances start to get better, you'll decide that's the next step. Yeah, you'll decide to you two will decide to walk into that transformation together. And it will be abundant for you. That's what I see for it. So, all right. So that was situation number 3. What's the time on that?
22:03.
Okay. Cancer, you got a very full, abundant reading. And you got flowers. I'm jealous. All right. So if this situation resonated with you guys, what signs do you see? Basically, before I finish.
I do see Gemini. I see Scorpio.
Yep.
I see Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Taurus more strongly.
Yep.
Or Libra.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'd say you see Taurus twice just because of the Queen of Pentacles.
I see Taurus twice, but she can also be a Libra.
Yeah.
With that Venus energy.
And Taurus, well, I don't consider...
I said Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo.
Yeah, I don't consider Knights really energy, but if you wanted to, Taurus, let's just say Earth signs are showing up really strongly in this sign. Go Earth sign! Go Earth sign, that's right, get that commitment. So, yeah, that's pretty much the signs that we see. So... if you guys resonated with this scenario, please share
and subscribe.
Also, we encourage different perspectives, so please share how the cards and energies appear to you in the comments section below. That's all the messages that you have, right? All right, so until next time, take care.
Bye.